What up, though? Welcome to another hot episode, another hot season of the POPcast. What up, my main man, Moochie?
What's going on, Miss Cosmo?
How you doing?
I got one out again. Get January glow.
Yes.
One time you've left the rubbish of the alcoholic
Of
and the
course.
debauchery of December. You've washed it off.
I said
You
new
feel
year.
like a new person.
New year, new me.
Nah, me guys, I wanna be a gym, not the last.
Hey.
I walked in here and somebody said, "Yeah, what's going on there? How are you carrying an extra an extra load there, my brother?"
An extra what?
I said, January.
Were you
was just
gymming in
trying to-
December?
Listen, no, I was not gymming in December. I'm trying to gym now in January.
Oh, okay.
So there's a battle going on. It's a mental battle and it's a battle of the body, but otherwise I'm not.
Oh, you're leaving the old you in
I'm leaving the
2022.
old me back, guys. I like every single drop that comes out. First of all you're gonna hear me say this year is this track. Nice. I get to you want it to be nice, so I'll say it's nice.
Oh, okay. So there's a new Sipo who's coming onto the podcast. I don't know if it's gonna last long because when life starts hitting you in different angles, then you're gonna start
It's gonna last for my 18 minutes.
Yeah. Then we're gonna get the real guy back in action right here. But of course, it is a brand new year. Full POPcast. It's a brand new season. So happy New Year to all of our viewers, and thank you for sticking around, and of course, just engaging us throughout December. All of our pop radio episodes, which I'm sure you've checked out. But if you haven't checked them out, please go and check them out. We had some awesome guests who joined us in December.
Absolutely.
The likes of Chico. We had 25K. We had my Easy Does It.
We had Loiso Gola
Yo.
quite recently. Who else we had?
So those was the hot pop radio episodes that we had in December. We also went out to Jams on Ice for Popcast Goes 2.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
So that was also dope, just to kind of see what was happening on the streets of Soweto, just to try to, catch the vibe of the people for December.
Absolutely. It was very, very dope, man. It seemed like a great December for a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
Different kind of December. I think this is our first December that we just came out of since we know there was the whole virus and whatnot.
Yeah.
So the last 2 Decembers weren't the same.
Yeah.
And this one, I think we couldn't believe it. We're actually free. You could actually go outside, but everyone was just like, "Yeah,
I wish so.
Is it still safe?
Is this the
Are
one?
you sure?" So it seemed like some parties and everything that was still coming back, especially that nightlife, that December energy that South Africa usually has. Seemed for a lot of people that it was like, you know what, people were kind of a little bit cautious, I would say. Didn't have the same vibe, but maybe that wasn't such a bad thing. You know what I mean?
It wasn't such a bad thing, but then I think people were also a little bit wary about being out because there was also just talk about that extra variant of COVID that was floating in the air.
Every day it's a new release, like a Rambo movie.
And I'm not gonna lie, I think I had it.
I'm sure these
And
things
some
people say they've got flu. Hey, you guys catching this flu that's going around in the middle of December? The flu that's going around, my brother.
Everybody got sick. Everybody got sick. I caught it. I think I caught it. I don't know whether I caught it on the flight or whether it was just before I went to Cape Town. But the moment I touched down in Cape Town, literally everybody around me had the same cough, same symptoms. But we were still rocking because we said, no one's going to get us down this December. I don't care about a restriction. We don't care about a curfew. We are out on the streets. And everybody just had a little bit of a mild cough. But Vix, right.
And also, I feel like something is up with it because I feel like load shedding has gotten on everybody's nerves.
Yeah.
And it's actually started, I think it took a while for it to start knocking people out of their rhythm a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because especially the last, I would say 3 to 6 months, it's gotten really, really bad. And over December even, we're thinking, nah, man. Something will change, something will be giving. No matter where you were, it was reminding us. You're at the wedding, something is happening. You're at a club or a party, something is happening. Whether you're at home, something is happening. So it seems like the only way to move forward now is like generators are a big part of our lives. I can't imagine that if you have, everyone is now starting to think about investing in generators. I can imagine guys who definitely are hosting venues.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If you're hosting parties, if you're a recording artist and you're thinking about your own studio time, surely the last thing you must be complaining about is generators. So you gotta come up with something. Now they're telling us that those things are excuses in general. And that now load shedding is a part of our lives. So now everybody must make a plan. Start investing all these thousands and thousands into these generators.
So much money. Even if you have an inverter, the prices have just skyrocketed from what the prices were initially. Because if you tried to get an inverter mid last year, you probably were looking in the range of around like 4 to 8 grand. For it to kind of like power up your house. Now, a friend of mine tried to buy a generator, I think like last week. And obviously because we're stage 6, but at 12,000 and it only lights up her TV, a lamp, and her Wi-Fi. I said, there's no ways.
Absolutely. Things have gotten very, very bad, man.
That's
but I
crazy.
hope you guys have something to believe in out there. I hope you're a little bit hopeful for this year. And I guess they say you have to change with the times, isn't it? This is where our country is right now. So we've started getting creative about how we do our work, about how we interact with each other. And of course, actually checking in that load shedding thing is not throwing you off your productivity. Because I've seen now that it's actually quite simple. People are postponing a lot of things, just meetups. Everyone kind of wants to be left alone and enjoy those 2 hours of electricity that you have at home.
But load shedding, not gonna make it.
I have load shedding, so I have also friendship shedding, family shedding. You know what I'm saying? Where I have to think about, okay, I can't come and see you during this time because I actually have electricity. So I must block out when I visit people. I go to, no, I can't come to your house between 12 o'clock and 4 o'clock because I will have electricity at my house. Let me rather come to your house between 4 and 8 because then I won't have electricity and then we can switch houses. So now we have load shedding relationships.
Hey. And it's tricky, that thing, because people start watching now the schedule and say, oh, I have to leave now. I've got 1 more hour of electricity. And for me, it's tricky because I live in a complex that's got an elevator. So the moment there's no electricity, I must now gym unintentionally. I'm managing busy up and down the stairs. It's painful. So we need to figure out another way out of this thing. But hey, man, it works for some people. It doesn't work for other people. And if you're in studio, imagine now you're busy recording your last verse.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to hear that excuse. So always have to invest and don't just buy a UPS for Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is not going to help you when you're in the middle of a hot verse, my brother. So if you're looking for a studio, you got to invest in a generator. It's just part of our lives right now. So before we get to the Ace of Spades, before we get to the Azul, before we get to the Don Julio, before
we get to the 1 million rent tables,
you know what I mean? Before we leave the cribbo, because if you went to go book a table for 50K, but at the house you're saying it's load shedding, there's absolutely no way, brother. We all have to invest in these things. And as creatives, there's lots of excuses that we can make, but for everybody actually, at this stage of the game. Now it's a part of our lives. We have to deal with that reality. And I hope for everybody out there and for artists, that'll be interesting to see where it's actually been affecting them, where they're trying to make plans for people who do productions, like we're shooting right now. Luckily, the place that we're shooting at actually has a generator. So if they go down, which actually BBW and Co.
Shout out.
And 4 Ways, this is our second time here. If you've watched the show, then you know that. But the good food out here by the Buzz Cafe or the Buzz Shopping Center, anyway, of Witkoppen. But hey, man, like I said, they have a plan here, and now when we shoot, we have to pick a place with a plan.
And you know, I've actually gotten to a point where I have to put my devices in a specific way. Like I have to make sure that the chargers are together, so that I put them, I connect them to the charger, so that when the electricity comes on, then the charge kind of happens. And then when when I've left the house, obviously there's no electricity at that point, but when I come back, everything is going to be connected at that point. And I've got 2 power banks now. I have one for the house, one for the streets. So that when I'm on the streets, I can charge my phone. But when I come back, there's a power bank that's already full that I can connect to if there's load shedding by the time I get home. Why do we have to live like this?
I promise you. And the last part is that you're talking about leaving your things in the plug. See, now this is getting very educational. Welcome to the load shedding educational show.
101.
About how to survive. But you need those surcharge plugs. You know what I'm saying? Because if you leave your things plugged in and you don't have that, then when the electricity comes back, it says blows up your items as well.
It did. I had to replace my TV and my fridge because of that.
Washing machine, I won. So it's not a cheap affair out here. We're talking about real things. So you can either learn the hard way, you can learn the easy way. So now back to regularly scheduled programming.
So some people who have been investing in making sure that they are not load shedding but continuously moving, definitely has to be Uncle Waffles' team. Uncle Waffles is booked for Coachella 2023. She
doesn't need a scope. She's electrifying.
Yeah, I know she's taking it to the top.
I know. I'll push you on that.
I wanna give a shout out to her team, man. Like they are constantly pushing the boundaries. They're like, you know what? We are going for everything. Because you know, sometimes some people will buy their time and they'll say, okay, cool, we are hot right now, but maybe let's take our time. Let's do this thing. It's a marathon run. And maybe it's not a marathon. Maybe you also just need to kind of sprint for a couple 100 meters and then you slow down and then you sprint for a couple 100 meters. And I think that's kind of the direction that they're taking with her career. And it's good to see, man. They're taking all the opportunities as they're coming and they're just jumping for it. So shout outs to her team for that.
Absolutely, man. It really is a beautiful thing how far her career has gone and how fast it's happened, of course. It is one of those things where it doesn't happen the same for everybody. And it is a special case study, I could say. You know what I'm saying? Now people, when they pray, they say, God of El Samajimbo and God of Uncle Waffles, please locate me.
Please.
You know what I'm saying? Because those are very special cases of people who literally went from 0 to 100 in the speed of lightning. You know what I'm saying? And now having to deal, and not just that, because they're becoming hot, but then they're staying hot. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very easy. But this, we're in a new season now, and Uncle Waffles is again doubling up, just like Elsa did. You know what I'm saying? When she became hot, she became hotter and hotter until she was like a mainstay. And make sure that she continues to work hard. And that credit to themselves, their talent, and of course their teams. So I hope we'll get to see somebody else have a burst like that this year in the scene. I don't know who it's going to be, but as you can see, the game is always ready to accept somebody that brings something new, something fresh to the scene. So shout out to her. Also, she's doing Afro Nation Miami again.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know, she did it last year, or was it Puerto Rico last year?
No, she did Portugal as well.
Yeah, definitely she did Portugal, but even before that, I think they might have done Puerto Rico. I remember Foka did Puerto Rico. And then he's on this lineup as well of Afro Nation Miami this year, with the usual piano suspects. In that, so Virgo Jeep also being out there. I think Durban Gogo is on there, maybe even Young Stunner. Major League, if I'm correct as well. So yeah, and you know that's only like phase 1 of the lineup reveal. So there's the piano stage has an entire stage in Miami. You know what I mean? I feel like we need to continue reminding ourselves of just how far this genre has taken over, even after what happened in Ghana, of course, Afrochella and Afronation.
But that was tricky, man. Like it's so disappointing. I was disheartened by that.
By what happened in Ghana.
What happened in Ghana. I was very disheartened because why is it that Portugal went off without a hitch? Everybody just had like praises about the event. Everybody was just excited. Everybody was happy with the way that it rolled out. And there was no bad PR with regards to Afro Nation Portugal. But the moment it comes home to where it actually originates from, then there's drama. Then there's, we need to cancel day 2. We need to security issues. There's this, that, and the next thing. Why is it that it can't succeed and have good PR the way that it did overseas?
Look, and I'll give you guys an example because first of all, we know that in certain African countries, it's hard to host certain types of events. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how much traffic they're used to having, how big international shows they're used to actually hosting. Ghana is trying to put themselves on the map as a destination for people to just not just visit, but to come there in the numbers and to enjoy the country. So I think they themselves are catching up to this new traffic that's coming into the country and struggling to keep up with it a little bit. And I say that to say that I watched an interview online, and I forget his name, but one of the co-founders of Afrochella, who's a Ghanaian, American-born guy, when he moved back to Ghana to start Afrochella, and he said the concept kept failing, but he was saying some of the things were the systems in the country. And he wasn't used to that because he lived in New York and his entire life, but of course because he was a Ghanaian guy, he wanted to come back home and do something there. So he said it kept failing because and they will tell you that you can't do things over the phone. You have to be there on the ground. When somebody's saying is the guy who's running your bar, you have to go meet these people and make sure that these contracts usually happen when the things are happening face to face. And every time there's a disconnect because the country is kind of, I guess, catching up to doing things on a world standard, there's like these teething issues. And true to that showed in Afronation and Afrochella. That entire week, we kept seeing these videos where, for example, Meek Mill, I was like, can anyone just touch Meek Mill? Every video I saw, I'm like, this guy's life is in danger.
Like, is he sure he's in the right place?
They snatched his phone. I'm like, this guy's life is in danger. You know what I'm saying? And then beyond, he's with the people and, you know, he's immersing himself. I could see Meek Mill's face. It was like, get me
out
safety.
Of here now.
This is not a safety. He's just trying to keep calm because he doesn't want to come across because he sees the phone. Now he's going to look like a little bitch. If it's like he's running away from people. But like, that's too much excess. You know what I'm saying? So other artists, they also see this and they're like, hey man, what's the security like? Are we going to be safe? Yes, they didn't harm Meek Mill, but they still took his phone. And just that entire situation needs to be a little bit better controlled. But like I said, the guy who co-founded Afrochella, he himself was speaking to those difficulties. And I think they just got exacerbated over that entire period to the point where they had to stop the one show then the day before and cancel the New Year's Eve show, of Afrochella.
Afronation. No, Afronation was the one that was cancelled.
Yes, Afronation as well. But so hearing him speak was like, I'm glad at least he was just keeping it real and say, look, we've been having a lot of trouble trying to get this off the ground, but it's working, and we just need people to be a little bit more patient with us. And and because of that alone, I think we can only send positive energies to these guys and say we hope that those teething issues, those security problems. Because I mean, imagine a party getting cancelled the day before even. Like the way yesterday we couldn't handle it. We're not even gonna risk people's lives, and they understand people travel from all around the world. It's December, so you made these plans a very long time ago. So you can understand people's frustrations and the disappointment there to like immediately let people know. But what's the opposite of that? Let's just push forward and cause a stampede tomorrow or whatever.
That would have been way worse.
Of course.
Especially if you look at like festivals, like even like Astro World, where everybody was just like, why didn't they cancel it? Why did they continue?
Yeah.
You don't want those types of conversations. So I get that. I think maybe my disappointment is maybe say even in some of the people and the way that things were kind of addressed at the event. So yes, they had security issues, but some of the security issues were also caused by security themselves taking a young, e-wallet so that they can get people in. And it's like, no, we can't do that, guys. There's restrictions for a reason. We need to stick by the law so that people can come in and have a good time. But I do hope that they deal with those teething issues, because I wanted to grow. I wanted to be like a rolling loud that's going throughout the world. I wanted to be something that Africans can be so proud of, that we can say, I put my money and my heart behind Afro Nation, and I'm not going to be scared when I go to an event like that. Because the last thing I want is fear. I'm spending my money. Do you know what I mean?
And I wonder what I think we'll give you guys an update as well, because I think they were getting sued by Coachella using the name Afrochella as well.
Yeah.
I think they'd filed some patent or something, which is a worldwide thing, and that's when Coachella picked it up. Now they're like, okay, wait, now you even want to register now.
So what are you doing?
We let it pass this entire time, but now you want to be official and register and be able to like take this concert maybe everywhere else around the world. Because I can imagine they probably want to host Afrochella in America. You know what I'm saying? And make that, because I think that's what it may have started somewhere similar as like a party, unofficial Afrochella in America, and then they brought it this side. But I think they have issues in trying to take it further and outside of Ghana, because how big it is for the African for African people living everywhere else around the world. Of course, the success you can imagine somewhere in America, it's like an easy dub for them. So I think they're having a little issues there as well. I don't know how that's gonna go, but we'll keep tabs on it and let you guys know what the legalities are for Afrochella and that name. Because of course, when you hear the name, you're thinking, are they part of Coachella? Or is this an arm? But they absolutely are not.
Yeah, they are definitely not. I'm actually surprised Coachella hasn't opted to go throughout the world. They've literally just stayed in one place, one weekend every year. Like,
it works for them that side. You see,
they make their money.
The dangers of going on tour. They come with each country has its own ways of working. You know what I'm saying? Some countries are easier to throw things in, but then you end up. It's like when Casper was throwing his fill up, and he'll tell you, it was easier to do Mabida than it wasn't so easy to do Mabida, but it was easier to do Rustenburg, for example. So wherever you go, things start to change. When you find a place that works, you'd rather keep things there.
I get that. But hey, man, you know what? Again, big shout outs to Uncle Waffles' team. They're doing the right things. And for those who are going to go out there and check her out, obviously go and support your girl. I think she's performing on the Friday of both weekends. So that's going to be really awesome. I mean, it's a good step up, especially for females. She's the first South African female to perform at Coachella. So
that's a big deal,
it's
man.
a very big deal. So you know what? Kudos to her. Kudos to her team as well. Talking about international platforms coming to African shores, MTV is bringing love and hip hop to South Africa. Are you ready?
Let me tell you something. I don't think they can match our excitement. That's my problem. That's the only disappointment, is that I'm like, I want to be excited to see a South African version of love and hip hop. But who are the characters that they're going to put in front? I'm even scared to like ask in the back door. I'm scared to make a phone call. I'm scared to text. I'm scared because I feel like whatever name that they'll give me, I'll be like, nah, not that guy.
No.
Because there's people who I think naturally have some sort of drama inside of them. Because that's what it's about. People that watch love and hip hop because it's like, let's bring the drama. Nobody wants to see just how you're living. So it mustn't be like a reality show of behind the stars. No. This thing must be real.
It must be in your face, happening right now. You know what? Who do you think is actually going to be on? Let's make some predictions, maybe. Some predictions.
Let's see. One person who I've seen bring some sort of drama, who seems to have a taking for a camera in front of her face, is Gigi Lemaine.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I was thinking, I was like, Gigi Lemaine would spice things up.
I didn't expect you to say that. Okay.
I didn't expect me to say that. But I'll tell you, Gigi Lemaine, for the reason she was on that other South African reality show.
Oh,
the one that they shot in Cape Town. And I could
Temptation
see
Island.
Temptation Island. And on Temptation Island, it seemed like though she was there to like, you know what, fuck it.
Yeah, she was there to add the spice.
Yeah, I'm gonna take your man. So I was like, she's got the presence for it. And clearly she has no problem with bringing that type of energy to crap. So her alone, I would love to see that. It's a pity she's not a hip hop, but Babes would have been someone who could bring in, who could see, who could cause something.
I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea to bring Babes because it's life after Mampincha.
She must date a hip hop guy and then clap its backdoor entry. And then we say she can come. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All she needs to do is bait. Who's a Zulu rapper? I mean, not Nasty C, obviously. Big Zulu.
Wow.
We need Babes to date Big Zulu and then they must come to love and hip hop. There's drama immediately.
Same time. Now there's Nkabi drama happening here. Oh, it's gonna be tricky.
Who else? Who else do you think you could see on the show?
Somebody who is always public about his affairs, who's just Tando nje. Everybody must feel his love and must feel his heartbreak. I think we all know the Super Mega because he wants us in his life all the time. So he has a platform. I just don't think he'd agree to it. But it would be nice to see him on the show because we see enough on social media. So you might as well put a camera to it.
Yeah, I don't think he would agree to it, but also, I don't know, maybe now because of Nadia, you know what I'm saying, and she's already done a reality show. Exactly. Maybe she could talk him through it and be like, look, we can actually control the narrative and make it A, B, and C. There's definitely interest there. And I mean, also we want like a lot of credible artists there, you know what I'm saying? In America, Love and Hip Hop has a reputation for having been guys who are not hot right now.
Yes,
and then they use that show
like
to become hot.
Yeah,
it's always like the B grade, whatever. I mean, J. Cole literally has a line on one of his songs, says, don't worry, if this is how you want to continue with your career in 5 years, you're going to be on Love and Hip Hop. And that's not a compliment.
But Cardi B started on Love and Hip Hop.
Yes, and that's literally, she's an anomaly in this type of situation. She's somebody who started there and actually made it past that show now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She could never go back to Love and Hip Hop.
She would never.
You know what I'm saying? But all the other artists who are there are also trying to use it as like, remember me, trying to reignite their careers.
Ray J.
And saying, you know, but Ray J. Ray J is just like Ray J, actually. It's not too hot, too cold, it's just Ray J.
Isn't that Brandy's brother?
He's just that guy. He just exists, and there's nothing you can do to erase Ray J, whether it's Love and Hip Hop or any other thing. He just pops in, makes him sure that he's busy. But locally, who else I could see? I mean, somebody else who seems to talk. At least he's very vocal about who he is and his life, and there's a lot of love in that hip hop story. Is Reason? You know what I'm saying?
I think Reason.
This is I don't know which one of those.
That's Love and Amapiano,
Love and Amapiano / hip hop.
It's
there.
Back or not back. I don't know. We're not sure. Is it happening? Is it not? I saw somebody tweeting actually saying, we should have rather had Love and Amapiano. And I'm like, maybe it could have just been love and, I don't know, in music because now they want all the genres. But Amapiano's also got its own love relationships. I mean, we saw Dali Wonga and Taryn from TXC posting they're on holiday together.
There you go.
You know, so, I mean, hey, maybe we can see
that would be the show to put right now. But I think Amapiano artists are too busy. They don't have time.
They're not busy. Come on.
They don't have time.
Monday to Friday, hour.
Who else is a hip hop artist? I'm not sure. Is Cass in love with anybody?
Hey, man. I mean,
it has to be the love side, not just hip hop.
Yeah, you see.
Otherwise, then we're just watching you be a hip hop artist.
But you must also give us the drama. Otherwise, we don't want it. But I mean, you know what? That's a show that's coming through to MTV. So I'm excited. They announced it 2 days ago. So I think when we actually see the show, then we'll actually then come back and maybe review and say, is this what we wanted? Because this is a prediction. This is not the people who are going to be on. Maybe then we'll decide if we're actually going to watch it or whether we're not. Because, I mean, these things can go either really well or they can go really out the other way. Because, I mean, we've also got other franchises that have come to South Africa. I mean, Real Housewives.
Of course.
And I think the most popular one is obviously Real Housewives of Durban. And now there's Real Housewives of Gqeberha that's on the way.
Oh, yes, I saw that
My ladies from the GQ. Huh?
Let me tell you something. I don't think other women need to be cued in for drama.
I'm excited because
I don't think they need to be coached by anybody. They don't need to be coached by anybody. They don't need to be provoked. You know what I'm saying? If you're telling them come here and bring drama, it's an easy script. You know what I'm saying? And they're rich, whatever. So very interesting to see how they pull that off as well. You know what I'm saying? But I will say, Oguti, regardless of whether the show is good or not, even when it's bad, it's good.
Why?
Because this is Mzansi.
Because we just watch.
We're just gonna watch. So even when it's bad, it's good. Yeah. Because then people are gonna talk about how bad it is.
And that's,
you know what I mean?
That's so strange.
So they'll give us 10 episodes of something terrible. People are gonna watch.
We're still gonna watch and say, why am I watching this drivel? But you've watched the whole thing, so you're still going to give them the numbers that they need. I mean, that happens with a lot of shows. Some shows start at the top, and then now you're just like, what's actually happening with the storyline? I'm feeling like that a lot with a lot of the telenovelas right now, where I'm just like, I was so in love with the storyline as it started, the river. I'm just like, what is happening? There's no explanations. Mabuto's back, but he fell off a cliff. We're not sure how he survived. There's no explanation. The wife also, everything is just, everybody's dying. I don't know. So, but I'm still watching. So
I'm sitting here going, hey, nah, I don't cough.
You see, but for me, I think I'm one of those South Africans where I'm gonna watch even though it's terrible. So don't worry, I've got a real view for you. It's gonna come back. MTV, Love and Hip Hop. We're gonna see what it's
execute it
about.
right. It may do something special.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If they execute it right, I'm saying, even if what it did in America, even if they take guys who aren't hot right now and they follow that same formula in America, where if the I don't know, call them A-class celebrities or whatever, and start rating people that way. But I will say the guys that are hot right now, even if they all are not about it, and then they go for maybe guys who are a little bit quiet, and that could help them.
Yeah.
And if it's really executed well in that situation, then it will do something. It'll get people talking about hip hop. It'll get people talking about people's lives. So I mean, get drama at the end of the day. So
I hear
and entertainment also. So there has to be an entertainment value.
Yeah, that's the thing about reality is that there has to be drama. Talking about drama series and seasons that have come back for season 2, we do have Kings of Joburg, which is back, but now, obviously, because the main character was Shauna Ferguson, and he's no longer with us, unfortunately, Connie Ferguson has stepped into the position to be the main character. And it got me thinking a little bit about certain people who we've lost. Either, obviously, 2022 was a very tricky year because we lost a lot of very prominent people in the entertainment space, and how to kind of fill that void and fill those characters and fill those positions. And if you look at a show like How to Ruin Christmas, right? Where Busi was a main character on that show, but they just, I guess they just didn't include her in the show. They just said she went away. And that's how they kind of wrote her out of the show. If you look at Wakanda Forever as well, how they kind of had to write out Chadwick as well. Should we replace somebody who was so prominent in a show, or should it be something that's kind of rewritten, or should it just stop completely?
When it's TV, I mean, it depends when it's a TV or movie. Sometimes people get written out. Sometimes people, like if it's both the bold and whatever, series that are literally going to last forever. You know what I'm saying?
Bold.
They don't have time. What the bold, what days when people die, people used to get, people would just switch. They'd be like, now this is the new Rich.
Oh yes, they would replace.
No, just replace the person and then you just get used to it. You know what I'm saying? And TV shows usually, especially soapies that run over a long period of time, when they have difficult writing people out, but they want to continue their character, just replacing them used to work.
They did that on The Wife as well.
These days, it doesn't seem to be a very popular thing to just replace a character with a new person. Because now, I don't know, maybe because of social media and how focused we are on shows that we love, those people's characters exist even outside of the show. So people are always following them. So they can say, Guillaume is Cosmo, she's here every day. So did she say she's not trying to play that role anymore? Like, it's weird. Because then people just bug you, you know? Back in the day, we were used to a certain way of TV. But now, just like with Chadwick, it's very difficult because that person is just that role. Yeah, I'm saying. So you think about replacing them. Is it really worth it, or should you carry that emotion around with somebody new? In this instance of Connie Ferguson playing a more pivotal role, it's strange because the immediate thing was that if you saw Kings of Joburg, she was an ancestor or something.
She was a mermaid. She wasn't an ancestor.
Ancestor or mermaid?
No, she was the thing that Bega Twelling is or something. So she was the mermaid.
So she was the 12.
Yeah. Basically.
For 12, she was the 12. Okay. So she was the 12 in this in
stop
the first. I mean, she was the something. Let's call it the 12. It's the new term.
She was a mermaid. Okay. Yes.
And then now she's going to play, she's holding a bazooka on it. Like, this mermaid is, you know what I'm saying, shape shifting. But I guess that's what mermaids do, isn't it? In what you call this, in folklore, I guess, or whatever.
No.
We say mermaids can turn themselves into something else by the water. Aren't these stories like that about mermaids? I know they exist.
I think these stories only happen in Mafike.
But those mermaids are known to change character apparently, and then lower people to the water in fantasy or whatever. So maybe this is what happened. And they have to tell us something. If that thing starts and just holding a bazooka, there's no way. She can't immediately be holding a bazooka.
But that's the thing. That's what they do.
We need mermaid to bazooka storyline.
Yes.
I want to know what happened.
I actually also I'm keen to actually see when it actually drops, how they're going to transition her character, because everybody knows she was just the mermaid that Shona was feeding money or sacrificing his family to. So I want to see how that's going to transpire, because as I mentioned, big complaint of mine is the telenovelas right now is that there's no explanation. People die and then they just arrive a couple of weeks later and you're like, how kanti agashonanga lo muntu like a month ago? I definitely watch the show every week. So, I mean, Mabuto fell off a cliff. All of a sudden, he comes back and he's somebody's son. Like, how did he survive? He's got no broken bones. He's not on a wheelchair. He's just arriving. You know what I mean?
This
like,
is South Africa. When it's time to think, when it's storytelling time, and it's time to think about plots and bring things together, everyone goes, nah.
And they just continue.
They'll be fine. These guys who are watching, they're gonna be fine.
No, we were watching.
So it's very interesting, and of course, like I said, we understand the emotional part of her taking that role. You know what I'm saying? Wanting to do the role proud or play a prominent role, paying homage to her husband. We understand that part of it. So that doesn't take any genius to try and figure out why she's taking a more prominent role. Why not just going to the story itself and saying, there's definitely going to be a gap to fill there. It'll be interesting to see how they fill that gap. So far, she has a bazooka, and now we need to...
we need to understand.
We need to understand. There's a very interesting story here. I'm excited to find out where the bazooka comes from.
And I think it's dropping this week, or if not, it's next week, ne?
Yeah, it's coming out very soon, now in Jan.
Yeah, it's now in Jan, but I think it's towards the end of the month. So, again, we'll be back with a review for that one. Definitely, because it needs to come together. Something must happen. All right, so with that, we are going to jump straight into our unpopular questions, which is a firm favorite here on the POPcast. And we do have our golden box that we've been taking with us a lot to POPcast Goes To, and we're bringing it straight to the original POPcast, my brother.
Am I going to take it and read it?
Yeah, you take it and read it.
All right.
Let's go.
All right. It says, what's your opinion on music video dropping a year later after the track release? Yeah, I know. We've been having more and more of this quite recently.
And it's happening. It's happening in a certain, like...
Amapiano. Amapiano, who's been doing this. I think they're so hot that the music video is like an afterthought. When certain times it's like, yeah, what do these people want? The music video? Now let's drop it. Okay, sharp.
No, I don't know if the song is over.
Yeah, the song is over. They didn't even dropping the music video of the song that's hot right then.
Yes.
Like, let's go drop this song from a year ago. No, you even have a hot song right now.
Okay, so I'm going to be very politically correct with my answer. And you can pull it apart how you want to pull it apart. But I do kind of understand. I'm not saying it's okay, but I kind of understand, because we all made these mistakes years ago as well as hip-hop. And not to say that music videos came out a year later, maybe about, I think our cap was like 6 months after the song was out. Because we used to do this thing where the song would drop, and then we do like the audio run, and then we say, okay, music video, then we do the music video run. Yeah. And that was plus minus around like 4 to 6 months after the song had dropped. And then we realized that, okay, it's kind of slowing down the traction of releasing new music, because now it's like, are you concentrating on this song or are you concentrating on the music video? And only later did we learn the mistake of, okay, cool, maybe you should drop the music video as you drop the song, or as you drop, or maybe a week later or 2 weeks later, so that there's a full package. And now you check with hip-hop is actually on the ball with song is out, music video is out, let's go. Yeah. AKA did that now with Lemon's Lemonade. KO did that with Sete. Everything was just rushing, let's go. Because we learned from back then, and now we're like, the budget must say when we are releasing everything same time. And I think because Amapiano is also still a new genre, they're still kind of, teething issues. Should we, I don't know, give them some leeway? Or maybe they should also just ask us, because we've been here.
Absolutely. They're the most guilty right now, the piano community. But look, so here's how this thing goes, like you just explained. And that's the kind of more logical way that we've learned to do things, especially in hip-hop. You drop the music video right now with the song, let it do whatever it's going to do. Yeah. Also, you get to control the narrative of the visuals. So you get to plant the what you call this, the visuals in our minds immediately. We don't have time to daydream or doing anything. It's like when you read a book, you read the entire books and then the series start and you start comparing. Yeah. This is not what I saw when I was reading the book. You have a lot of time to discuss, to come together at book clubs, so you start painting your own picture of the characters and who they should be. And when the movie comes out, that's why everybody's always hypercritical and be like, yo, this is not what I imagined. This is not why. And I think like with songs, it can be the same way. When a song it belongs to the people now. It's been out. They get to form their own narrative. But what the song is all about, what the visuals could be, they see you performing it. So by the time you take a year, 6 months later to release that video, so it's not kind of what it looks like in your mind.
Yeah.
And also now you're feeling like probably maybe over that song a little bit, and you've jumped onto other songs on an album. In which case now you're like, but actually I'm more worried about your other single.
Yeah.
Give us that hot. So then you pour water on one single and then try to keep another one alive.
Yeah.
I think like the gymnastics of it is just too much.
It is too
When
much.
once you sit on the track for a while, and I've seen a few of the videos that actually when they're released, and then I will look at those videos closely, I can see that it's brand sponsored. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen a couple, at least 2 or 3 Amapiano videos where I can see, I'm like, oh, I see that the brand put money up to put this video out. And I'm like, that's probably the only reason why they released it. It's because the brand was like, yeah, but we saw the song on top of the charts.
Yeah.
The deal got done later on. And then they're like, okay, United will give this brand this video. That's what they're going to pay for. That's when you see. So sometimes it's urged on or simply by the fact that somebody's like, I'll pay for this.
Yeah.
Or I'll put money up for this thing. Or we'll give you money just for product placement. Then you're like, actually, we do have a hit already. Yeah. It's fine. We can bring it back to life while we're still worrying about the future. But I know when the songs are hot and they're streaming and you're booked, that a video now in this day and age is not the most important thing.
Yeah.
Also because it costs money to make videos.
It's a lot of money.
And it costs a lot of money to make a really dope music video. So sometimes you see like, shortcuts, they're trying to keep this thing, the budget just here, my brother.
But, okay, so, devil's advocate here. I understand music videos are very expensive because obviously I've had to, foot the bill for a couple myself. But then it also kind of begs the question because in this genre, there's also just a lot of obviously taking on the culture and taking on, the swag and whatever. If you have money to blow at Diamond Walk, surely you can play for a music video. Where is your money going? If you can drip top to bottom, everything is just label. Surely you can take just one of those items and say, let me just use this money for a music video. What do you mean,
We can ask that about why then are you wasting money on drip check? Why not invest that money in the house? We know how musicians be. We know how rappers be. They're trying to ball out. I'm trying to get a diamond chain across my neck. I'm trying to get Gucci drip down the floor. Don't ask me where I live. I can sleep on the mattress. But, Oaks have their priorities, what do you call this? They have the priorities all mixed up. So that's why sometimes investing in something that they don't see doesn't feel like an investment. When they put the video out, it will do A, B, and C. It's hard to convince someone. You're like, but let's go to Diamond Walk.
No, because then you only wear that item once.
Oh, please. I'm telling you right now. Otherwise, if they were smart, they'd be smart about everything. Right? We artists consistently waste money.
Yes.
And when we're always like, why didn't you invest? Why didn't you buy the mother's house? Why were you only spending money in the club and on your drip and on baddies?
Because drip is
that's
forever.
more fun. Exactly. Because that's more fun. Releasing a music video is not fun for the artist.
Forget the budget.
For the artist, you can imagine. It's not fun. It's fun for us, the consumers, where you're like, oh, you should get to see these videos of your favorite artists. The more videos they release, the more visuals they release, the happier you are as a fan, right?
Yeah.
You get to see all these. Imagine your favorite artist just kept hitting you with music videos. Yeah. You're enjoying. All they're doing is paying and paying and paying for your enjoyment. Yeah. That's how they look at it at the time. They're like, these fans, it's fine.
But you get your money back because once you've invested in the visuals, you've invested in your brand, which means you're going to get more shows, which means you're going to make the money back.
Nah, it's the, I think Oaks have tunnel vision sometimes, or they can't see as far as you're saying. And they should.
So Diamond Walk is closer.
So Diamond Walk is closer. I know exactly where it is. This progress of the future of things. Because remember, if you're hot right now, right?
Yeah.
Because your track is so hard. You're not trying to put yourself on. An artist who's trying to get on will release the video, right? Yeah. And be like, I want people to see me. They don't know me, right? Yeah. But an artist who's known, booked and busy, Oaks always think short term a lot. I'm having fun right now. I'm busy. I'm being booked right now. They're not thinking about, the bookings will go down sometime and then I'll need to, no, they never think about that. When you're hot, you're hot. And that's all you can think about. All you want to do is you want to slow down that momentum of the visuals and everything. All those things seem like money being taken away to invest in something else. And I'm only saying this to say that's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
No, not what they're doing. the opposite would be better for them.
Yes.
But it's hard to reach out or to reach into others who are going through it at that time. Which is, look, man, invest in yourself in A, B, and C. That's why Oaks, some of them, we find that they're suffering. And then you try to find out what's going on, what's not clicking in your team. Then you find out they actually don't have a team. It's your homie there. You guys are struggling to get bookings. You can't answer your emails. You don't answer phone calls. You show up late. So it's a profession. Being professional actually can cost you money. You know what I'm saying? Getting the right team around you can cost you money before you start making money. And we speak about that all the time. So if guys don't want to invest in the small things, how are they going to get to the point where they're saying a music video will work for me, A, B, and C? Especially when you're not surrounded by people who are advising you that way. You know what I'm saying? When you have the right people around you, they might tell you, look, man, I think we should shoot a video or whatever. You don't have to shoot a video for every album, every track on your album. But at least keep it timely and put that when the
hot singles.
Yeah, your single is hot. Give it a music video in time. And half the time, music videos are actually whack. 90% of the music videos that come out just be sucking anyway. So it seems like they're releasing it because they just said, okay, here's the video, okay. Yo. And you're just like, nah, that Paris music video. Paris. I can't believe they're around the swimming pool. Just having a braai. I said, are you joking? This is a song about leaving here. Paris. That's so huge everywhere. And you're going to shoot it here next to your breast then. I said, get out.
Did you want them to invest in a flight?
If you don't want to release a video, just say you don't want to release a video. You have to get a little bit more creative. You know what I'm saying?
They could have at least tried to go to maybe Hartebees there and go to the Eiffel Tower there in Harties.
Go shoot it, the 99th video at Harties like everybody else at least. You know what I mean? But like this, these guys are having a braai. I think the pool, I don't know if anyone was swimming. Everyone is around the braai. I said, you gotta be joking.
But the benefit of a music video, outside of you getting, it's more reach because for people who are watching TV, they can get to see the music video. But also, obviously, it's playing on radio. If you want it on radio, you want it on TV. Those are the two mediums that you need. But also, YouTube is also paying money now.
Yeah, so those million views are cash.
Guys, get your money from YouTube. Like, you're going to get some money back. Yes, not all of it, but you'll get some money back from YouTube. If your numbers are going to be high, then trust me, YouTube is like one of the biggest platforms right now for social media. So people are going to watch it.
Yeah, and Instagram, you're busy on Instagram posting stuff.
Post it
Instagram
on Instagram.
Is not going to, they're not paying you for those posts. You know what I'm saying? Twitter, being busy there, they're not going to pay you for those posts unless you're actually playing with the brand. But YouTube, you get to control that. Exactly. Your channel is immediately monetized. Even a piano artist, people want your content. The video, you guys can just post videos of yourself performing on stage. 300,000 kids are going to watch it immediately. You know what I'm saying? But every time on YouTube, at least you're going to get your cash. And if you own your own YouTube channel now, because you're not signed, most of them are signed to either their own labels or whatnot, still independent, then that's all your cash. And I can tell you right now, YouTube is a thing that if you're not paying attention to, I would flood that thing as an artist, as an independent artist who knows that I can get views on TikTok. You're worried about those views on TikTok. Even TikTok is not paying you. You know what I'm saying?
But TikTok is supposed to pay people now.
Yeah, they don't pay people the type of money you think. It's very, it's almost free. So it's going to take a while for TikTok. You can't compete with YouTube, for example, in terms of like monetization. But I'm saying that's where, that's the other last part of it is that it's also not free. So that money for your music video, you are going to get back. That money that your videographer is putting out, when you guys are getting hundreds of thousands of views every single week, that's actual real money that can be sustaining you guys, and that can be feeding into the production.
You can even upload your music video even on Apple Music and make money off of Apple Music because they will also then pay you for the streams that are happening on the. So there is definitely a reason why we want music videos, but just don't wait 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, 12 months. If a song is hot, invest in it now. Leave Diamond Walk. It'll be there when you come back. Please. I beg of you. I beg of you. Talking about music, talking about 2023. Obviously, we don't have a lot of hot music right now, but we do have a forecast of artists who are going to be dropping this year. I think we all know the Super Mega is back in the hot seat. He's doing his thing. He's found his mojo, and his album is going to be dropping this year. So he announced that Mass Country is going to be coming out. So we're quite excited about that. But is there anybody else who's possibly on your radar that you're just like, okay, maybe something is coming from this guy?
I'm looking forward to a lot of new music via hip hop, and somebody else who I enjoy is raps, and I'm wondering if he's gonna be giving us anything this year. One of the guys is Stogie. You know, I think Stogie is due for some new music, maybe an album. I don't know if he's up to it or whatnot. You know, I know he works when he
when he feels like
he's not gonna be pushed by any sort of energy, or there's no sort of urgency for him to like do anything. So it'd be good to hear a project from Stogie because I enjoy his raps. Of course, it's a dope MC. I'm always thinking about Mugs.
Mugs?
Sometimes I'm always thinking about Mugs.
I didn't expect that.
No, because Muggs is dope as well, and I feel like he can have a moment. And I mean, we keep talking about that. You know what I'm saying? Muggs needs to have a bigger moment. Maybe this year is a time where he can start dropping some singles, get some feelers out, and actually get like really, really dope momentum that puts him, you know what I'm saying, in the forefront of conversations with guys like the AKAs or whatnot. Nasty C, I think, is due a project this year as well. He gave us that mixtape, and he said that he's working on something for to release this year. It'd be dope to see what direction he takes.
MC is also dropping. DIY3, I think, is on the way. So I'm excited for that because I've been waiting for MT to give us real trap hustler MT. So I think that's on the way for this year. So that's going to be a good one. But yeah, all the people that you've mentioned, I think are definitely on the radar. I think from a music perspective, we just want more music. Obviously, Amapiano is just going to be flooding us as they usually do. So it's exciting, you know? I think 2023's got this buzz. We're taking it to the top.
Absolutely. And I also see something special that maybe might come out of the collaboration we got last year with Venom and Shishiliza.
Yeah.
Who I think actually dropped the album of the year, personally.
Yeah.
If not the top 3. In terms of like really good projects that got put together. If you go and listen to it, the music was really dope.
Yeah.
And of course, a little bit, I wasn't expecting that initially, Love and Pain. Because the first single that they had was Showboy, so it was kind of hip hop inclined. And then I think while they were making it, they decided, you know what, the hip hop tracks are there, but we're keeping them here. Like
I think after Sondela, they were like, this is the direction.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're not bound by any genre as well, as guys who usually are in production and in the background of it and not on the mic themselves. So I think they're free to collaborate with different people, and they seem to be very good with picking vocals and vocalists to work with, like Raspy, for example, and bring out a little different energy from different types of artists. So I'll be interested to see if they maybe probably in the second half of the year look to giving us another collab project. They did say that they were sitting on a lot of hip hop tracks. Sometimes artists get tired of sitting on tracks after a while, so they're thinking maybe they will release a part 2, and then it's more hip hop inclined, and then a year passes and you're like, I actually don't want these tracks anymore. You know what I'm saying? That happens a lot. Or they get changed over time. It'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. I'm also interested to see what Cass does with this year. You know what I'm saying? Because every kind of 6 months, Cass kind of switches up his flavor. He can go quiet though, he can go house, then he can drop a hip hop track. And so last year he was kind of all over the place in terms of like where to try to place himself. And he was very hip hop inclined last year. Did drop a couple of tracks. So it'll be interesting to see what actual direction he takes this year, whether it's album mode or if he's going to continue throwing out some singles and seeing what catches, what doesn't. It'd be good to see him put together a really dope piece of work as well. I
think we deserve an album from Cass, definitely. No matter whatever genre it is. I think at this stage of the game, I'm also just trying to understand who or what he wants to put out for this year, but he must do it in a project mode, not necessarily singles. Because I think the singles are dope, but then it also kind of feels a little like, okay, but which one should we kind of grab onto? So I think if he solidifies and maybe gives us maybe even an Amapiano album, or if he gives us a hip-hop album, at least then we can then say, okay, this is the cast that we are dealing with for this year. But definitely, I like the fact that we don't know what to expect. I think that also makes it exciting.
Sure.
Especially for somebody who's been in the game for so long, it's exciting to at least not know what to expect, because we don't want to feel like we're getting the same thing over and over.
Absolutely, because I feel like if he goes into album mode and actually says, okay, no, and especially if it's hip hop, because most of the people that in this channel will be thinking, well, if it's a hip hop album, that's where we'd like to see him land, like he did when he released is it Refilo?
Yeah.
Refilo, yeah. Which had that sample with the Haupele.
Yes.
That album of his was very like, well thought together, well put together, and there was, what I'm saying, he followed a very kind of strict pattern, putting in together a really dope a body of work. I wish he could get back into that type of thinking in terms of like hip hop and put together something the way he's gonna be like, you know what, I'm gonna put together something really, really nice.
Yeah, man. But of course, we are expecting and excited to hear a little bit more from the streets, from the culture, to kind of see which direction it's gonna take. And I'm sure you are as well. I mean, as we mentioned, new year, new us. Maybe we're gonna see new directions. People changing genres, jumping from one to another. We never know. So yeah, man, keep on commenting and let us know exactly what you are excited for 2023.
Yes, sir.
Keep on liking, subscribing, and sharing and commenting and letting us know exactly what you want to see from POPcast as well from this year. We are going to be doing a lot more pop radio episodes, and of course more POPcast goes too, because that seems to be a fan favorite as well. So some events that we're going to try and check out, we're going to try and go to the bigger type of shows as well. So stay tuned, and obviously if you see us out there, please do engage us so that we can we can give you a bit of a shout out when we're on the show as well. But yeah, man, we still have a big year coming up for this year.
2023, man. I feel like it's gonna be special.
It's gonna be very, very, very
for
special.
everybody, and then especially for music. I feel like we're gonna see some real special things out there. I think there's been a lot of talk, and a lot of people are kind of like, you know what? Let me just get back in the studio, respond, and then give the masses what they want, man.
100%. So there you have it. We're going to check you again next week here, same time, same place on the POPcast. And a big shout out to our venue again, BBW & Co. Lifestyle. This is out in 4 ways at the Buzz Shopping Center. So come through and check them out. We've got a really, really amazing venue. The food is dope. The bar's dope. The service is amazing as well. So this is a place that you want to come and check out. But of course, from myself, Miss Cosmo, and my main man, Moochie.
Moochie for one, baby. Please say the baby.
Maybe Moochie's getting married this year. We don't know. But check you next week.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen.